I've been a nasty girl, nasty. Those who, if you know, you know, right? If you know, you know. You know? If you know, you know. No? No? Welcome to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Happy 3rd of July. Elise loves fireworks. Like the fireworks, yes. Hey, Kayla. Vicky loves the fireworks. Ellen, hey, 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 hey. Wolfie Shadow, yeah. Another one. Thanks for the share. Greatly appreciate that. Pug Daddies, hey. Amber, hello there. Lady Van Nundingham, no, you hate them. Do you hate them for your own personal purposes or because of what they do to like your animals and stuff like that? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying. Brit for short, scared of them now as an adult. Well, I get it. You know, stuff can happen. What's up, Dylan? Ellen usually do fireworks every year. We have had our fair share of fireworks mishaps. Nothing that led to missing digits or anything, but you know. We've had some stuff happen. Steph, Kayla, Willow, Wiccan, thanks for the shares. Greatly appreciate it. What's up, Fane? Rochelle, thanks for the share. Greatly appreciate that. Love fireworks after you've sedated your fluffies. Then the era, yeah. That's a good idea. Yep. We've been gradually getting Luna to a more doped up state so she can survive the 4th. Lady Van Landingham, sensory issues. They are super loud. You know what? If you wear some of the safety headphones, like the shooting range headphones, they greatly clamp down louder noises so that the decibels don't spike. And like our kids wore them when they were younger to watch fireworks, and it makes a big difference. And they've got them at like Walmart and stuff. They got them all over the place. Sergeant Matt Cutie, make go boom, but a lot, yes. Make total destroy. Juliet, your beloved pupper's 5th birthday tomorrow. Happy gosh heckin' birthday, puppers. That's awesome. On the 4th of July? What a cool birthday to have. Fane, thanks for the share. Greatly appreciate that. Pretty but the litter after... Oh, yeah. Yep. Jerry, they go forth. I am. I'm on live. I think I am. But Jenna, now you only think about your dogs. I'm telling you, if you start doping them up in advance... I mean, they don't enjoy them, but they at least aren't going to have a complete conniption over them. You know what I mean? Gemma, thanks for the share. Greatly appreciate that. I am live. Maybe not. No, I'm live. I don't know about live. Bree, your city just canceled fireworks because of heat, weather, I assume. Amber, your birthday is tomorrow. Happy gosh heckin' birthday to you, Amber, on the 4th. Janine, don't mind them. Not sure about the really loud bangs though. Also scared, so it's tough. Take your anti-anxiety meds. Layla, Sophia, Jill. Yes, I am now. I am recording now. Thank you for the reminder. Greatly appreciate it. I need some taken care of. Turtur, your city did drones. I have yet to see like a drone show. Only videos of them. You know, there's a lot of risk involved with drone shows too, right? You imagine one of them like losing signal or getting a mind of its own for a minute. It's all going downhill. All of them. You like professional ones, hate the backyard ones. They're a pain in the ass. Can be. Definitely can be. Jerry Lee, go forth. You had a fireworks stand. We worked one when I was a kid. And we work with a client who puts them on now. And that's fun. United Snort setting them off now. Heck yeah. Nice. Inside? Not inside. Oh, Bree, they're going to do them 12th and 13th. Wow, that's not as patriotic now, is it? Ashley, like them. Dog doesn't. Totally inside United Snorts. Psst. Danger is my middle name. United Danger Snores of America. Oh, dang, Radiant Decay. Wildfire that's really close. You're packed for evacuation. You know, between like wildfires and hurricanes and all kinds of madness. I guess this hurricane popping up kind of explains a lot more of like the shark frequency increasing. Anybody down south getting seeing anything from the hurricane yet? Ms. Nobody with a corgi, thanks so much. Adventures with Pam dropping 220 bolts. Anna Hartman dropping 250. Adventures with Pam, Anna Hartman, Nikayla. Chris Museum Girl with a bolt. Janine Benham, Kayla, Myra Catalina, Nikayla. Again with roses with bolts. Alejandra dropping the lightning bolts. Love X as well. Jill, Jelly 5, Pittsburgh Penny, Jelly 5 again there. Love X, Chris Museum Girl, Elise Newman, Kayla again with lightning bolts there. Am, Harlequin, Jerry Lee go forth, Fane, La Boca Dragon, Candy Thunder, Elise Newman. Baby Girl Rex, Karen, Ms. Nobody. Thank you guys so much. Tony Spark is in chat, ladies and gentlemen. Ted checking in from the boat. I imagine, at what time of the day did you become Ted? That's the question for today. Huh?
Ted.
Candy Thunder says, tell Ched to check your chat. Check your chat, Tony Spark. No hurricane anything yet? Ted checking in from the boats. Your dog Margaret into the world extravaganza. Hey, AM Harlequin dropping the 201 Alejandra. Janine, AM Harlequin, Lovey, Boo Boo's Boutique, Amanda F, Susan R.S, Kristen Glazer, Janine, Amanda F, Mike Weber, The Potato, Anise Moon, Peaches, welcome to the gosh heckin' fam. Glad to have you here. What's the congratulations for? I missed it. Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. Now the fun begins, right? Sarah Ann Cordova, thanks for the share. Getting a lot of rain in Louisiana. I know it's supposed to make it up our way home as well. What's the word I'm looking for? The hurricane path. I mean, it'll obviously just be like a storm by the time it gets here, but it's supposed to make a path up here and then start curling back to the east. Karen, your chihuahuas are scared of fireworks? Yeah. So Luna, our big 85-pound doodle, is much more afraid of them than Oliver, who is the little... How much does he weigh? 8 pounds? 13? Silky Terrier. He's a chunky Silky Terrier. He's 14? That's rude, she said. There's a microphone right in front of you. Doggo's called Luna. Yeah, Rebel Wolf. That's awesome. Yeah, she's terrified. Oliver, not so much, but she's terrified of everything. Carabites, Luz, Peaches, Natalie Ford, Maddie, Denise Burkhardt, Anise Moon, Carabites, AM Harlequin, Christine. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling, huh? Let's rock and roll. You got a Luna too, Jenny? Heck yes. Which, by the way, we were supposed to have our call today, and Google decided to shit the bed on us, and we were both sitting in an empty chat room, just like hanging out. Candy Thunder finally found the cue cards, and now
I can't raise them up too high.
Oh goodness, we were at 1440 of 4K. We have a bolt goal of 4K to get Candy Thunder up here to get us started on the show here. We were supposed to have our call with Jenny, who won one of the private calls, and we were both sitting in separate chat rooms, just thinking the other didn't show up for like 15 minutes, or Jenny was there for like 30 something. So yeah, that's fun. Thanks, Google. Appreciate that. We do have a likes goal of 500K today, of which we were at 3% of already. Jenny dropping the lightning bolts, AM Harlequin, Peaches, Jackie Kelly, Pink, Hawks Kirsten, Christine, Chris Museum Girl, Pink. Thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate it. Let's dive right in, shall we? Coming up, we have stories about an update to yesterday's post about walking the niece down the aisle, giving your wife 3 options, neighborhood traditions, telling your kids they aren't your problem, and of course, more wedding problems. The drama never ends. Also, not 1, not 2, but 3 spicy stories for you today. Get out those brooms. The curtains have drawn, and boy, does that stage look dusty. A line written by Caden Thunder. Tony's at the lake today. I'm sorry, Ted is at the lake today. So you'll be seeing a lot of Candy Thunder and Caden Thunder both giving feedback on spicy stories today. Heck yeah. It's going to be fun. That's going to be, yeah. El Bella, yeah. It was a good one. I read it before we started the show. And they were like, yeah. I'm like, okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, let's dive into the update story here, shall we? This is an update for Am I the Astronaut for telling my wife there's nothing weird about me giving away my niece at her wedding and that my wife has no say at all. I think we're going to do the game today. We're going to do it. We're going to do the poll. I think a lot of you have already read the update. Please don't spoil. You will get muted. Also, let's be respectful in chat today. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But we can do that in a nice way. We can respectfully disagree with each other without being astronauts. Right? Poll is up. We have 45 seconds left to go. Lots of NTA rocking on here. Yeah, a lot of people have already read the update. We posted last night, and immediately there was like, there's an update. There's an update. I have not read it yet because I always read these stories for the first time with you. We'll find out. Jury Lee, go forth. Mary, Silver Sun, Candy Thunder, Bree, TLS, Nickala, Ms. Nobody, Wolfie Shadow, me, MEI. Or is it May? It's probably May, isn't it? El Bella, Jerry Lee, go forth. Honey Bear, The Effulgent One, Maori Girl, Jessica Peaches, Jackie Kelly, Vagina, Jenny Rorden, AM Harlequin. Thank you all so much. Pamela Ford, see you there too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. KK, look at that. Got the notification for the update, but wanted to wait until you read it. I'm touched. Nikki, same thing. Look at that. Would you just look at it? That's amazing. 90% went NTA on here. Let's figure it out. I guess I better do my intro the right way. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with an update to a previous story that we read for you. This is an update to the Am I the Astronaut for telling my wife there's nothing weird about me giving away my niece at her wedding and that my wife has no say at all. Reading the comments on my last post made me feel a bit better about everything. To be honest, all these discussions I've had with my wife, it just gets extremely tiring. And sometimes I start feeling guilty about everything. Rereading that line. And I sometimes start feeling guilty about everything. But reading the comments made me feel better. Sorry, that window's freaking me out. I had a discussion again with my wife last night. I didn't show her the post because a lot of the comments were pretty harsh towards her, but I did feel confident last night when we had the discussion. We came to a decision that I would walk my niece down the aisle, but we would also go to marriage counseling because my wife had a lot of things to get off her chest. I asked my wife what some of those things were, and she said the primary issue was that she felt like I was playing happy family with my sister and my niece all these years, and that she feels like I have taken the role of an SO to my sister, which I disagreed with, but we'll speak about it in marriage counseling. She then talked about how she sometimes wished she was my sister instead of my wife because she wished she had the same emotional connection with me that I had with my sister. I didn't really know what to say to that, so I didn't say anything. She then talked about how I've been more of a father to my niece than to our daughter, but I disagreed again because my daughter and I have always been close, and I've never sensed any resentment from our daughter. Again, something we'll both talk about in marriage counseling. So that's it for the update. A pretty exhausting discussion, but marriage counseling should hopefully help. I'm glad I will be able to walk my niece down the aisle because she said it really means a lot to her. We've got a couple of comments to jump into here. Comments from OP. Wife has given many reasons. Like, for example, one reason being that we have a daughter who isn't married yet, and she feels like I'm closer to my niece than my daughter, which isn't true at all. And then she says, symbolically, me going to my niece's wedding as her father figure while my sister being there as her mother, she thinks it's weird. That's a stretch, right? That's a stretch. Additional comment from OP. My daughter is 26 as well. We're both honest with each other, and she admits to my niece's upcoming wedding did make her a bit jealous, but she is really happy for my niece. Why in all of this does OP not dive into... You have what?
One more comment.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. Katie Thunder has another comment to paste in here for us. While she's hunting that down, I really wish OP would have dove in and actually had a conversation with his daughter, not just about the wedding. We're both honest with each other, and she admits that my niece's upcoming wedding made her a bit jealous, but she's really happy for my niece. That was just, I take that as she's just jealous that she's having a wedding, not of his role in it. But mom here is claiming that he's taking so much away from her, the daughter. That's her perspective. It would be interesting, and really all that matters is, what does the daughter feel about it? Does the daughter feel like her cousin gets more attention than she does? OP's wife feels like his sister gets more attention than she does, and that's a problem. That is a problem. But she is using the daughter as evidence here as well, and we do not know that there's any weight behind that because she has never spoken up and said anything. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oi, Ellen, rocking the mod roll out there and kicking butt with it. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for that. Hey, Candy Thunder, TLS, Kellyanne, Missy, Maori Girl, El Bella, KK subscribed. Welcome to the gosh heckin' fam. Brittany with the heart, me. Beck subscribed. AM Harlequin subscribed. That one courtesy of Susan RS. Thank you so much, Susan. And AM Harlequin and Bex, welcome to the gosh heckin' fam. City Mouse, NYC, Kellyanne, Justina, Beth Bars, Cherry Blossom. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much. Ivy Gray. Cherry, see you there again. Thank you. Did you find that other comment or did you give up? It's gone. Do you remember the basics?
It was about giving his sister money.
Oh, it was about giving his sister money. Okay.
And the wife not liking it.
So,
And he said that his sister supported him. There's no one to swing the mic to me. It's Tony's desk.
she'd walk up and walk around to Ted's desk and swing the mic over. And now,
Okay, it was about OP, the husband, giving money to his sister. And he said that when he was growing up, the sister had a part-time job and always shared money with him. And it was something he felt he wanted to do to repay her for what she had done. He was then asked why, if the niece was 26, why is he still giving his sister money? And that was the basis of the comment that I cannot find.
Which makes sense, right? It's not like, you know, there was nothing like a normal child support structure about this in the first place, though. So, assuming that that his sister is still doing something to support the niece, keeping that structure going is his choice. But the part of this that really gets me is that how long had he been doing this and supporting her? Like, her whole life, right? Okay. The vibe that I get from this is that he's been doing this his niece's entire life. So why is it just now a problem? Why is it just now a problem? And in the original story that we read, so much of it came across as well, OP's wife said that it was weird that he wanted to do this, tried to make it into a romantic thing between him and his sister, which is a stretch, but she's feeling jealousy. And if you're feeling jealousy, like I can see where she would try to make that leap. She tried to make it weird. How she looked at it was weird to all of us, but I understand that she's jealous. The way she's going about trying to bring this to his attention is like a shock factor approach, or, you know, trying to make him feel ashamed of what he's done, which is a good deed. She's trying to make it a creepy deed. And I don't know, this is a clusterfuck, right? A fuster cluck. This is a fuster cluck. Then it better be full disclosure as part of the relationship. Marine G guesses that it's been a problem for wife for a long time, but the wedding is a problem for OP. So it all came to a head when he was like, I'm going to walk her down the aisle. And she's like, okay, enough is enough. Sergeant Mac, yeah, that was the vibe from the first, and still with the update, like the how dare you be a good uncle. There's being a good uncle, though, and then like, he's gone above and beyond. She does not like the fact that he's gone above and beyond. And a lot of the comments on the first video we're all focused on the good thing that he's done. We're not focused on, you know, if there was some damage done to his own wife and his own child in the process. And of course, he didn't tell us that he did any damage, so we didn't have that information. We know that the wife perceives there to be damage. We do not know if the damage relating to the daughter has any weight to it at all, because we don't know her opinion. We know she was jealous about the wedding, which means nothing. We know that it did some damage to their relationship because she has some jealousy there, and it's either because the whole I wish I was your sister because I'd get more attention that way. Like, there's clearly a problem here. And yes, counseling is a great idea. There are differing worldviews here. There are opposing worldviews here. And that's what you have to work through. There's hope. There's hope for them to reach some kind of resolution here, but their worldviews are on extreme opposite ends of the spectrum right now. And it's gonna take a lot of work to get them to see things the same way. And yeah, you know what? Married couples can still agree to disagree. You can still you're not going to have the exact same worldview. Candy Thunder's, what? Clutches pearls. There are plenty of things that we don't agree on. And we're like, yeah, I just see it differently. That's cool. It doesn't mean I don't love you or we don't have, a happy marriage. We just see things differently. This is a pretty big deal, though, because she feels like it affects her directly. If it was just a differing viewpoint on some random thing that didn't affect either one of them, no big deal. This is a big deal. The story, the title was, this was an update for it, but it was, Am I the Astronaut for telling my wife there's nothing weird about my giving away my niece at her wedding and that my wife has no say at all? I don't know. But isn't he still sending money even though the niece is 26? Yes, and it does make it, so it's not about the niece anymore. He's supporting his sister. And maybe sister has grown dependent on it, which is her problem, but he's still providing it, which is, which makes it his fault, I guess. But that's between the two of them. He's not spending any money that is reserved. He's spending his own private funds. They keep his, hers, and joint. It's his own money. Compromise in a marriage? What dimension are we in? United Snorts? I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? If he spends all of his free time at his sister's house versus on his own. Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of things that can make this. Here's an analogy. And I've used this before. It will sound familiar to you. There was a time when I was running a little bit too hard at gaming. And it was taking away from our relationship. And Candy Thunder spoke up and was like, hey, I'm not trying to combat you on this. I just need you to know that I feel like we haven't gotten enough us time because you're applying so much of your time to this. And I'm like, oh, shit. So the way that I process that, what do you give me that look for? Did I just give a complete inaccurate account? Oh, you give me this look like.
I was going to plug in yard work for gaming.
Oh, yeah. Yard work. It's not the same. It's not an elective.
Oh, it is.
It's a necessity. It's not an elective. With the gaming thing, it was harming our relationship health. Her speaking up allowed me the opportunity to fix it because I might not have seen it otherwise. Probably wouldn't have seen it otherwise until there was this kind of problem, something bubbling up that was this big of a deal, which is why if wife here would have spoken up so much sooner about this becoming a problem before it became this gigantic problem, yes, they would have had the opportunity. He would have had the opportunity to attack it head on back then. The thing that I don't like about how OP is handling this is she has issued a warning here. It's too late, obviously, or it's much later than we'd like, but she has said, this bothers me. And his response is just deal with it, right? Hopefully going through counseling will change that a little bit because there's going to have to be some kind of mutual understanding developed here. And I'm sure, of course, we don't have all the information. She perceives there to be a hell of a lot more damage than he does. So what's reality here? What's third-party reality look like? Agreed, but it depends on how that criticism is received. Seems like wife is opening up. Yeah. And you know what? As I think about this story, and this has been happening since we posted it last night, I keep getting it confused with the story where the dad had a daughter from a previous relationship, then got married. They had a smaller kid, or they have a younger child. But his daughter, who lives in another country now, is unhappy, and he wants to fly her home to live there, and his wife was uncomfortable with that. I keep getting these two stories confused for whatever reason. They don't have really any similarities, but it keeps really throwing me off. Mishi says, my brother helped my single mom of one until he got married, and his wife made him cut it off. Yeah. Mercy. I don't know why. They just bleed together in my mind. Hey, Boo-Boo, CT Civil, Adrian, Emily Smith, Elizabeth, Kaylee, Adrian, CT Civil, Adrian again there, Kaylee, da boss bitch. Kaylee Hoban again there. Addie Nicole, the effulgent one, Mama Buffy, Tors, Michelle Heather, Becky Poirier. Thank you guys so much. Jenny Rorden, Megan, thank you. I'm still I'm still sticking with NTA here because I think they are noble intentions. I think if she had spoken up way sooner and given him an opportunity to fix this before it became like a crippling issue, then it may be something other than an NTA. I'm an NTA now. That could change, though. 3361 to 4K on the Candy Thunder bolt goal. We are damn near there. Damn near there. Lori T throwing some bolts at us. Sophia, Jenny Riordan, Cap Girl. Jenny throwing more there. Megan, Boo Boo, Adrian, Elizabeth dropping the hundo. Kaylee, Hobon, Adrian, Emily Smith, Lori T, Barbie. Thank you all so much. Greatly appreciate that. 3440 and climbing. And climbing. Baking Queen, if he's married, those are community funds. I think he's the asshole, but they're not. They're married, but they keep a his, hers, and theirs fund. So it's maybe her perception of those funds, and I think I said this the first time with the original story was, even though they're his funds, those are funds that he could have spent buying me something or something for our family or blah, blah, blah. I get it, but he could have just as easily spent that money going freaking golfing or gaming or whatever, you know what I mean? 3761, 3802, we're getting there. The boss bitch dropping a hundo there. Megan, Aunt Sue, welcome to the Gosh Hecked fam. Heck yeah. Wendy Taylor dropping 77. Amanda Nicely, Boo Boo, Liz, Wendy Taylor, City Mouse. The balls bitch. I could just say that all day. Bethany, Evelyn, Robin, Kelly Ann, Megan. We get there?
No, I was just.
She's.
Read the next story. Story number 1.
You want me to go ahead and dive into?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll help you with feedback on it.
Okay. All right, Tater.
I'm in charge today.
I can't wait for you to see Candy Thunder on stream today because she looks just absolutely stunning. I'm not worthy. We all know that, but how you doing? Sorry.
Get to work.
Get to work, she says. Okay, we did hit the bolt goal. Let me thank some folks for that real quick. And then we'll dive into the first story, and then Candy Thunder wants to give feedback on that one. So we'll bring her up then. Does that work?
Yep, it is.
All right. Hey, City Mouse with a coral. Heck yeah. That's not the right button. I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry. Can you give me a save on numbers 12 and beyond, please? I don't know what just happened with my face. I'm sorry. AM Harlequin in the lead for this goal. TLS Journey, Anna Hartman, Adventures with Pam, Da Balls BH, Kellyanne, Elise Newman, Mama Joe, Candy Thunder, Anise Moon, A.K. Mary, Opal, Lady of Poison, Mama Buffy, E-Tate Johnson, Whiskey Mountain Sunset, is that right? Cap Girl, Wendy Taylor, Megath. Words are really hard today. Jilly55, Donna, 12661. Who, by the way, yeah, with the quilt that you made for Navy, still people who see it are like, oh my God. So thank you again. City Mouse NYC, Kirsten Hawks, Brendan Minardi, Kaylee Shambold. That's not at all what it says. Kaylee Arch Ambolt. We'll go with Kaylee. How about that?
John Travolta.
Hail Soda. You say I John Travolta that?
Where are you? Just,
Is it a?
yeah, Idina Menzel.
Yeah. Lori T, Amanda Flo, Laura Litzel, Amanda Nicely, Silver Sun Art, Addie Nicole, Kayla C, T-Rex Williams or Trex Williams, Christine Glazer, Kara Bites, Lady Bellamy, Regina Carr, Boo 77, Bo Blaze, Mama Silver Purge, Maboof, aka Peaches, Jerry Lee Go Forth, Violet Green, and Scent _. I am sorry that I can't read, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Tater. Greatly appreciate that. Oh my goodness. Words are very hard today. My brain is fried. I'm sorry. Let's get the next goal up here, which is going to unlock Caden Thunder. Whoop. We are going Tiny Dinies. Let's pin that real quick. Pinned it. All right, we'll dive in on our first official story here. Pinned it. PNG again. All right. First official story coming up here. Hello again, it's Dusty Thunder with another Reddit story for you. This one is titled, Am I the Astronaut for planning to get married before my brother and his girlfriend do? Let me get the poll started here. Sounds malicious right up front, right? It's like a race. It's a race. It's a wedding race. Am I the astronaut for planning to get married before my brother and his girlfriend do? Poll has started. Bella, that's me. Words are hard. They've been getting, words have been getting harder and harder over the past few streams. Maybe I'm just getting older. Is that what's going on? Maybe. You know, so if it's a race, if it's purely a race, and the date that OP has chosen is to strictly do it before the brother and his girlfriend do, yeah, I would say if that's the only reason you're getting married earlier, then yeah, you probably are an asshole for that. Because there's got to be some reason that you're wanting to do it sooner. If there's no reason that you're wanting to do it sooner, you just want to get married sooner, and your brother's taking offense to this because it means something to him, no, not the asshole. This can go two very different directions just based on how it went down, right? The majority of people went NTA. 47% voted NTA here. We'll find out. We'll find out how wrong we are. Maybe in everyone sucks here. Yeah. Adrian. Yeah. So I don't think age determines. I don't think the number determines our true age. Like my brain age is 3,473. Some parts. Yes. I'm half 3,743 years old, and the other half of me is 12. That's where I'm at. All right, here we go. Title again was, Am I the Astronaut for Planning to Get Married Before My Brother and His Girlfriend Do? I, 28 female, have been with my boyfriend, 29 male, for nearly 2 years, and we have a 6-week-old daughter together. I know we're moving quickly, but we're planning on getting married this October. I didn't just meet him 2 years ago. I've known him since we were kids, if that matters. My brother, 28 male, and his girlfriend, 28 female, have been together for 8 years. They don't have any kids, but have been trying the entire relationship with no luck. My brother's girlfriend was upset to hear that I fell pregnant so soon after getting with my boyfriend, but she accepted it and now loves my daughter. My mom told my brother and his girlfriend that my boyfriend and I were planning on getting married this October, and she is really upset about it. She says we had our kid first, and so... She said that we had our kid first and so soon when they've been trying for so long and have been unsuccessful that it's not fair if my boyfriend and I get married first. Okay, now we know the motive behind it. Now we know that it's bullshit. NTA OP. All y'all that voted NTA are right so far in the story. We'll see what happens. Especially because my brother and her have been talking about getting married, but they've been talking about it for years now and it's never happened. Hold up! Wait! They're not even engaged yet? Okay, hold on. I forgot that you were going to give feedback on this. I'll try to hold all of my bullshittery until the end. I told my mom I shouldn't have to wait around for them to get married because both me and my boyfriend really want to get married. We weren't even going to have a big wedding or anything. We literally just want to do it at the courthouse and then have a party with family and friends to celebrate. My mom still says that I'm being unfair, and my brother's girlfriend even said no one is getting married before we do. Bitch! Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot when they made you the czarina of weddings across the entire fucking world. Bitch. Also, Mom warrants some red flags here. And let's bring her up, ladies and gentlemen. The incomparably beautiful Candy Thunder. Look, I got to. I'll pull it back a little bit.
Okay.
I'll pull it back. Look, a little bit more.
Okay.
A little bit more forward. I'll pull this back further so you don't. We good?
Mm-hmm.
Would you just look at her?
Okay, stop.
Okay, sorry.
The sister-in-law needs to direct her anger at the person she's actually mad at, and that would be the brother.
Boom.
Because he's the one with the, or maybe she should propose and put a ring on her own finger. I don't know, but why?
She comes home with her own ring.
Yeah. Be like, I don't need you to get married. I got my own ring.
That's right.
But mom needs to direct her anger again at the person who is responsible for this, which is the brother, her son, not at OP for getting married. She had a baby. If she wants to get married, she can do whatever the fuck she wants. Like, why is this even up for debate? Why does it matter who gets married before?
They aren't even engaged. They aren't even engaged. Once we got to that part, I'm like, hold up. Okay, it's not like they had a date planned and you just leapfrogged it. They aren't even fucking engaged yet. No one will get married before me.
Yeah, right.
You're going to be sorely disappointed because someone got married right now. Like, it's happening. People are getting married all over the world, lady. Today. Does it freak you out?
Says, I did that, gave my husband the ring, and we eloped. That's awesome. See? You took hold of your dreams and
There
you
you
made
go.
it happen.
There you go. There you go.
She needs to manifest her wedding. Travis Kelsey, that shit.
Hey, there you go. In the age of Travis Kelsey, you can manifest anything within a year.
Right.
This
No, thank you very much.
the title and the context of the actual story are wildly different here, because her being jealous about them having a kid, I understand those feelings. Like, those feelings are probably, you can't prevent those from happening, right? They're going to happen. If you've been trying for a long time and someone else just pops a kid out after, being together for 2 weeks, you're like, fuck them. So happy for you. But
it's true. I mean, you can't help but.
That snowballing into the wedding thing and be like, oh, no. You guys had a baby first. You are not getting married first. Like, okay. You don't have that kind of control.
No.
The fact that you think you have that kind of control, I think, leads to a couple button presses here. Do you want to do the honors?
Yeah, but I want to. They've been together. What'd they say? 8 years, right? And I saw a lot of comments.
Yep.
If he wanted to, he would, and that's absolutely correct. If he wanted to marry you, you would already be married.
Truth.
And if I wanted to be married and that's where I wanted my relationship to go, some people don't, and that's totally fine. But if you want to be married, don't spend 8 years in a relationship that isn't progressing forward. If those are your dreams and hopes and goals, then find someone who aligns with those hopes and dreams and goals, and quit putting pressure on somebody who clearly doesn't want to do that, because 8 years is, and that's fine. If some people just want to be together and not have like a label on it, not have marriage, that is totally fine. But be on the same page with the person you're in a relationship with, and quit putting your anger on other people that aren't even involved in your relationship. And mom, just shut up.
What's mom doing
Just
here?
shut up. You're not even involved in this.
I think we talk about this a lot, but
yeah, I know.
But it's the connected people. She's getting bitched at from her. She's getting bitched at from brother's girlfriend here. She has to hear an earful about it, and she's tired of hearing about it. So she's like, just let them have their thing.
Yeah.
To end her own pain selfishly, which is bullshit too. The fact that she's putting herself above you and your wedding now is bullshit. So you know what? If these people don't want to be a part of you getting married, they don't have to be. Don't invite them to the party.
They said they wanted a courthouse wedding, so you don't even need other people to be there.
No, they were going to have a party afterwards, like a reception party, and don't invite them. If they don't want to be a part of it, they can pretend like it's not happening. They can pretend like the world isn't spinning around them, but it is.
You got married in a funeral home? What?
Alex, thanks.
Betty, Legion of Petty. In a funeral home?
Wait, what?
You got married in a funeral home?
I mean, that could be really cool.
I have a thing.
It could be cool.
I have a thing with. I feel like all funeral homes are haunted, and I have a thing with haunting, and I can't. But I'm super impressed that you did. That's freaking cool. I can't. There's something about it that freaks me out. Don't take me one of those whenever I go. Take me out and bury me in a tree. Under a tree, not in a tree.
In a tree?
Yeah, like one of those pods. Have you seen them? Like, where it's like a pod and they put it in the ground and it's a tree.
You turn into a tree?
Yeah. Do that and then I'll haunt you. And your new girl.
You're going to haunt me as a tree?
Yeah. Wait till the storm happens.
Shaking my leaves at you.
Yes.
And knowing her as a tree, she's going to have like a whole bunch of raccoons and shit up there too. She has to have pets, right?
That's true.
That's true. Have a bunch of pets. Great.
I just saw an ad for those things. It was like, I swear it was a Facebook ad for the tree pod. And I was like, are you trying to tell me something? Pod burial, yes.
Pod burial. There you go.
There you go.
There's a Dusty can never move on. We all know where he works. Yeah. Truth. Not that I ever would anyway.
She really branched out after. Yes. I can joke about this all day, but then you tell me to walk into a funeral home for a wedding and I'm out. I have a hard time going to his sister's house because they told me it was haunted.
It is haunted.
No, it's not. Yes, it is. Caden? It's not haunted.
She's shaking sticks at you. I was going to say, as a joke, she'd come back as an acorn tree. Because she's nuts. I was gonna say it as a joke. There's a reason I didn't say it, and I should have just stuck with that decision, huh?
But then you said it.
And then I said it.
We'll be stepping in that later tonight, guys. Bye.
Candy Thunder, ladies and gentlemen. Always a good sport. I love you. I was kidding about the nuts thing, right?
Oh, you getting hot?
I was joking.
Yeah, we all know who's nuts in this.
Oh man, but I did say it. Yeah, I did. Hey, City Mouse with the glowing jellyfish. Thank you so much for that. That's very cool. Millie Galore, Cap Girl, City Mouse hit Adventures with Pam. Dropped the Tiny Tinies, DeBalls, BH, Tammy Balls, Michelle Conley, Kellyanne, Lene Salyuk, Makishia, DeBalls, BH, B, Maxwell, Brooke, DeBalls, BH again, their abs, Kara Halling said, Henny B, DeBalls, bitch again, Regina, ZFA Jesse, obviously Mel, Charlie Diego, Mama Buffy, Millie Laura, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate that. We're at 581 to 2K on the Tiny Tinies to get Caden Thunder up here. Now she'll make like a tree and leaf. Oh man, you're gonna be like one of the trees from Lord of the Rings. I am here to haunt you.
And sit on the couch. Leave my shoes out.
Oh man, just don't let her stop for sweet tea.
Otherwise, there's no way.
Truth. Hawks Kirsten, Elise Rose, Jerry Lee Go Forth, Charlie Diego, Cherry Blossom, Donna, DJ, Sandy Robinson. Thank you all so much. Greatly appreciate that. Gonna make like a banana and split. There you go. Heyo. All right, our next story. I don't have the links on here. They're all Bitleys already, so I can't tell which sub they come from. Yeah, that's right. I got this one. I can click on it. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another Reddit story for you. This one comes from the AITA subreddit and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Not Following My Neighbor's Tradition? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This sounds like an HOA nightmare. Here we go. Text poll is starting now. I pissed off the HOA. Am I the astronaut for not following my neighborhood's tradition? What's up, Kay Turner? Welcome. NTA. I'm voting NTA here as well. Neighbor's tradition. Oh, no, neighborhood's tradition. My neighborhood's tradition. But it doesn't sound like it's a rule. It's not something that was agreed to inside of an HOA agreement. Otherwise, it would be worded differently, right? Going NTA. Just because they want to do it doesn't mean they can neighborhood peer pressure everybody into doing it, right? Amy, automatically voting against HOA or similar. It's Storks America. There you go. Tradition is just people pleasing people. CMDR, that's a good quote. Tradition is just people pleasing people. 89% of folks voted NTA. Hell yeah. Lori T, Stormborn, Anise Moon, Candy Thunder, Denise Burkhardt, Hawks Kirsten, Elise Rose, Jerry Lee, Go Forth. Thank you so much. HOA, America's adult bullies. America's adult bullies. Could be. All right, title again was Am I the Astronaut for Not Following My Neighborhood's Tradition? I, female 25, have just moved into a neighborhood a couple of weeks ago and so far has been very peaceful. From the neighbors that have come up to me, everyone has been very friendly and welcoming, which I really appreciate since I'm not from around the town. I have noticed that some neighbors have been having frequent parties the last couple of weeks, but I chalked it up to being celebrations since I know one neighbor's daughter just graduated high school and July 4th is coming up. I've been to some of these parties to get to know the other neighbors better, and one person who really stands out to me is this one neighbor, Melinda, not her actual name. At a neighbor's party, she came up to me and introduced herself, and we talked for a while. This is when I learned about the newest neighbor party. Apparently, the newest neighbor is supposed to throw a grand party showing off their home and entertaining the neighborhood as a whole thing. Melinda told me since I was the newest neighbor, it was my duty to do this. I thought Melinda was joking when she told me this, as it didn't make sense to me, and I laughed. This seemed to have made Melinda a little angry, and she said it was a serious tradition. And she said it was serious, and it was a tradition in the neighborhood, and that I had 2 weeks to host a party. This was 2 weeks ago. Yesterday was the day I was supposed to do this tradition, but I happily stayed in bed. Melinda and a couple neighbors came by and rang the doorbell, but I ignored them and enjoyed binge watching childhood shows. I decided to go outside today, and Melinda came up to me furious, saying that I didn't do the tradition and that I was being a bad neighbor. The thing is, however, I asked some other people about this tradition, and they have heard some people do it, but mostly never really mentioned it to be a reoccurring thing that each new person in the neighborhood should do. I told Melinda that I wouldn't be throwing a party anytime soon, as I didn't feel comfortable with the thought of people coming into my home, let alone me having to entertain them. Melinda got angry, saying that the neighborhood is like a big family, and stormed off. I let it go, but the neighbors that were there with Melinda at my house that night have been telling me I should have just done the party and that I'm leaving a bad impression. I think my reason is justified, but I'm not really sure. So, am I the astronaut? Nah, you know who did leave a bad impression? Have you ever seen Over the Hedge? Candy Thunder, you've seen Over the Hedge, right? You know who I'm talking about? The mom in Over the Hedge, like the HOA mom, the HOA head mom. This is her, right? This is her. And she looks a whole lot like this.
Mm-hmm.
You done got the bizzo neighbor. You got the bizzo neighbor. And some of the neighbors are like, yeah, I mean, it's some people do it, but not everybody. So her and her little clicky click that just selected or self-elected themselves the leadership of the neighborhood decided that they were going to start enforcing their own rules. They started deciding what is done and what is not done. And the funny part is it sounds like you were like the first one that they made this decision on. They're like, okay, we have a new neighbor now. We decided we're in charge, right? Okay. All right, I'm going to take lead because obviously I should be, like the president of this. And you guys are supposed to stand there and look really, really supportive. Everything I say you agree with, okay? So just do that. Let's go. It's like Regina George grew up and moved into a neighborhood where she just formed her own informal HOA and decided she was going to be in charge of it and bully a neighbor. You don't have to do shit. The only one leaving a bad impression is this bizzo who decided that she is czar of the freaking neighborhood. And what kind of tradition is this too? You have 2 weeks to throw us a party to show off all your shit. By the way, how many times have they partied in that house already? It's in their fucking neighborhood. The neighbors knew. The house is not. I don't understand.
Who unpacks in 2 weeks? Not I. I still got boxes everywhere at 2 weeks. I'm not ready.
I was going to say I would.
Oh, I know.
You can have a box party. Have a party, but bring them all over and be like, all right, the boxes are in the applicable rooms. Just start taking shit out and putting it away.
Yes. That's the kind of party I can get behind. I know.
Like I'm supplying pizza and drinks. You can do a little bit of work.
BYOB.
We're like a big happy family, right? Isn't this what family does for each other? They help them move in. Come on now. Oh, you're not going to help? Well, that's leaving a bad impression. 9 years and still not unpacked. Oh man. A paint party. Yeah, paint party is a thing. But I think you market this as not a work party, right? You market it as not an unboxing or painting party or whatever it's going to be. You market it as the big shindig that she wants it to be. Get her and her whole posse there because they're going to march in looking victorious, like, see what we made happen. And then you're going to be like, here's a box cutter, bitch. You get that room. Amber, this is why you don't talk to your neighbors. You know what? We have nice neighbors, and it's not that we're antisocial. I think we're socially awkward. Like we'll wave. We don't like have like long in-depth conversations with anybody. And it's mostly because we're running all over the place all the time. But we also value our privacy, and we value other people's privacy too. We're like, look, we live next to each other. That doesn't mean I'm gonna have my nose all in your shit. Like you do your thing, we'll do ours. It's cool. We live in different boxes. It's cool. Rebecca, subscribe. Welcome to the Gosh Hecked fam. Lily Tilly, Jenny Rarden, Candy Thunder, Chris 9799, Aaron Biederman, Peaches, Geekin, Lori T, Stormborn, Denise Moon, Denise Burkhardt, Sandy Robinson, Hawks Kirsten, Candy Thunder again, Elise Rose, Jerry Lee Go Forth, Charlie Diego, Cherry Blossom, Donna, Poetica Rose. Thank y'all so much. Swamp Mommy. I don't like being super close with my neighbors. Steph, I don't know my neighbors' names. We sometimes wave sometimes to the close ones. For a while, your neighbors could see into your house. Don't need to spy. Yeah. I mean, there are obvious advantages to forming some close alliances there. But in general, I think I value everyone's privacy in there. It's what makes sense to me. Maybe we're just awkward. It's probably a little bit of both. 50-50. 761 of 2K on the Tiny Dinies. I'm sorry, 781 on the 2K. Cab Girl, City Mouse, NYC, Poetica Rose, Sparkles, Lee Burke. Welcome to the Gosh Heckett fam. Love X, Christian Museum Girl. Thanks for the Tiny Dinies. That's what I mean. Have chill neighbors. We're the ones with the dogs and stand in the street talking with wine. There you go. Some neighborhoods are like that. Diana, I hear my neighbors fight a lot. You know all our problems then. To be petty, Danny says she'd do a housewarming party and invite no one. Just me party. That's pretty funny. But like put balloons and shit out. Maybe get a DJ in the backyard and stuff, but invite no one. Or invite just your friends, not the neighbors. Invite your friends over, not the neighborhood. There you go. Pretty Darn Yarn says mine apparently watch everything. That's one of the downsides, right? I think given the option, we would find 100 acres out in the middle of nowhere and plop a house in the middle of it. If I could still get fiber internet out there, I'm good. What's up, Charles? Using my muggle name. What's going on? Oh, Sergeant Mac got Ellen soda and chips. Would you look at that? Aaron Biederman, why is that so hard? Kever Challenger. I wanted to say Clevenger. Kever Challenger. Elise Rose, Annie Butcher, Brandley 85. Thanks so much. Greatly appreciate that. Don't get involved with your neighbor. Definitely don't marry. Divorce is awkward. Oh. Yeah. Did he say pick the apples out of your trees? So we're in Missouri. We're out in the Midwest. Let's do another story here. We're at 884 at 2K on Tiny Dinies to get Caden Thunder up here. We'll keep going until we get there. We do have, as a heads up, we got Caden Thunder appearances this one. The next goal is a spicy story, a spicier story, and Candy feedback. Then a spicy story, Caden feedback, and then the spiciest story and Candy Thunder feedback. So we have 3 spicy stories after this Caden Thunder appearance goal. 3 spicy stories.
No cakes, all spice.
No cakes, all spice.
Spice.
That's if it's like a spicy cake story. It's a spice cake. But it's no cake, just spice. She just gave me the cut your bullshit look. Cut your bullshit. Just go back to streaming. All right, here we go. Where's this one from? Got it. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with another Reddit story for you. This one from AITAH is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Giving My Wife 3 Options? Oh. That's all the context. We don't have any context right now. That's it on the title. Let me get this started. Poll starting now. Am I the astronaut for giving my wife 3 options? Boy, this could go anywhere. TED update from Tony Spark. The water is lovely. I'll bet it is. I'll bet it is. Is the lake crowded by this point? Or is it still pretty dead? Might be dead till like tomorrow. Giant red flag, giving your wife 3 options. What if there are 3 potential solutions? What if they are 3 options for like, which birthday trip are we going to take? Like, we don't know. You know what I mean? Unlikely that it could be something positive, right? Given that it made it here. TikTok is calling me. Wait, I can't do it. And if I have a poll up while that puzzle thing pops up, it's like impossible to find. Puzzle time. Got it. We're good. 26% said Ascon 2. Wow, y'all went hard, which is a definitely shouldn't have done it. We'll find out. It's probably not positive. You went Ascon 2. I'm gonna go Ascon 3 just to provide a little bit of hope. I know it's probably an Ascon 1, and y'all are being nice. I'm gonna go 3 because I have a little bit of hope left for humanity. Not much, but a little bit. All right, here we go. So let me start out by giving you a little history on my wife, 39, and I, 38. We were high school sweethearts, but ultimately I broke it off with her because our lives at that point were going in opposite directions. I was laser focused on sports and higher education, and she wanted to party with friends. Fast forward about 20 years, and I am back in our hometown visiting my family, and I run into her working at the local Walmart. We exchange pleasantries and make a plan to meet for dinner to catch up. Well, everything goes well, and we talk well into the night, and it feels like we've been friends forever, even though we haven't talked in 15 years. So we decided to start dating, but we live 1,200 miles apart. Oh, I thought he was moving back there. He's not moving back there. He's just visiting back there. So I would fly her down to my place about every other month for a week or so for a year and a half. Then we started talking about her moving here. Well, here's where things start to get complicated. She has a young son. Yes, the father does spend a little time there and here with his son, but very little. When his son goes over there, his father mostly just plays video games and his son watches. The father works very part-time under the table and pays nothing for his son and pays no child support. Cool. So eventually my girlfriend at that time moves in with me, and the father of their son agrees to let her bring their son. We have never kept his son from him. I have also flown the father here multiple times so he can spend time with his son. I sent his son up to stay with him over the summer last year when school was out. Now to the crux of it all. The father has recently moved to the town that we live in to be closer to his son, which I don't mind, except for the fact that we live in an expensive area. The father finds a room to rent from someone and has found a job working about 20 hours a week. He refuses to buy a car and is constantly calling my wife for rides. When he wants to see their son, my wife has to drive him over to his house and go pick him up later. Some days when he's off work, he magically ends up at our house and we feed him and all of that. So it gets to the point where I feel like I'm supporting this man because my wife is a stay-at-home wife, so I'm 100% of the home's financial income. I have addressed this multiple times with my wife, and she just says, I know, but he's my son's father, and I don't want him to miss out on having a father, which I get, but I don't think I should be the one supporting him. So last night, I talked to my wife again about the situation, and I basically gave her 3 options. I told her she needs to talk to him and let him know that she's not going to be driving him around everywhere, and he's not going to be eating at our house 3 nights a week and hanging out at our house. I offered to talk to him, but she declined. Then I told her that the second option is her getting a job so she could spend her money on him. This is when she started to get mad and said that I was being financially controlling. So I responded by telling her that the third option would be divorce. I never yelled or even got upset. I'm just at the point where I'm not going to be supporting the father because he utterly refuses to do anything with his life. I love my wife and stepson, but I just don't think that's asking too much. It's quite a bit different than we thought it was, eh? Calling no joy? Okay, we're going to go ahead and reset this goal real quick. Let me give some quick thanks to our top 12 here. TLS Journey, top 15 actually. Millie Galore, Candy Thunder, Elise Rose, Elise Newman, Dubballs Bitch, Anise Moon, Janice C, Eenie B, Anne 414, Cap Girl, Lori T, Laura Litzel, Opal, Lady of Poison Adventures with Pam. Thank you so much for supporting this with a Caden Thunder appearance for the Tiny Dining. We are calling no joy on that one, and we are going to flip to our next one. The Spicy Story. We got to get these spicy stories in. Got to do it. 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 You will see Kate. Don't worry. You will see him. Click in there. Do it. Spicy story and candy feedback. Now I have to make sure I remembered what we just read. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's quite a bit different than we thought it was going to be, right? I would have never imagined that this would be the scenario here. It is unreasonable. what she's asking him to do, and what he's ended up doing is unreasonable. Maybe that's the bigger problem here, is that he allowed this to happen in the first place without setting boundaries. Setting boundaries after the fact is pretty fucking hard. Like, it's already been this way. Changing things from what they have been for a long time now is much tougher than setting boundaries up front so they don't get to this point in the first place. I mean, that's hindsight, right? Can't do anything about that now, but I think these are reasonable requests. They're very reasonable. So it's pretty much like he just moved down there to mooch off of you. Which begs the question, is OP's wife still in love with him or shagging him or something? Do they have something going on where they as a team are taking advantage of OP? It is possible, is it not? Are they doubling up? Is this a team play? Yeah, hope not. Hope not. Her getting mad about it is suspicious. Her getting mad about, she didn't get mad till he said that she could get a job. Option 2 is what pissed her off. Option 2 was like, you could get a job and spend all your money on it. And she's like, excuse me. Clutches pearls. It is possible, though. There are too many possibilities here. No matter what, OP, you're NTA. Surprisingly, to all of us, maybe include a little context clue in the title next time, bro. NTA. Now, your wife's innocence level is TBD. Her ex, your bonus boy's dad, bio dad, is definitely taking advantage of the situation knowingly. Faux show. Put a stop to that shit. Mom's an enabler. At the minimum, she's an enabler, and that shit has to stop too. You gave her the option of telling him this herself. I would not have given her that option because she's been an enabler to this point. That's not going to go well. The boundary is not going to get established the way you want it to get established if you let her communicate this. You are going to have to communicate it. Fuck, I'd sit them both down and tell them both at the same time. Be like, are we all on the same page? You can't call someone controlling for not supporting your ex. It's a package deal. You get me, my boy, and my ex, my baby daddy. It's a package. Seems like maybe they were playing the long game. I hope that's not the case, but feels like it really might be.
That'd be a crazy
A crazy what?
con.
Yeah, it would be a crazy con. They're playing the long con. They could be. They might be. 55 and 1 hundo on the paper cranes largely. And thanks to TLS here. City Mouse NYC also throwing down. Susan RS Jen here. TLS throwing down so many. City Mouse NYC as well throwing a bunch down. TLS again. City Mouse NYC again. Crash Cart Ronnie. Been a hot minute. Good to see you. Angela Hawkins, June, thank you so much. Angela Hawkins again there. Brandla 85, City Mouse, TLS. Y'all are just awesome. Susan RS, see you there as well. City Mouse, Erica Eternal, Opal, Shorty, Opal again there, dropping them down there. Heck yes, 80%. We're going to get there. We're going to get this spicy story turned up here. Cameras in the house are necessary. United Sorts, not a bad idea. Nothing that he talked about in here alludes to any kind of trust issues with his wife, and maybe that's a problem. Maybe he's too trusting. Katie Thunder diving into the comments now. New theory established. Looking for supporting evidence now. Checkered phone. So he doesn't, either he doesn't care about that or he's just not in tune to the vibe of it. Because just by reading his story, we're like, ugh. So either he's just super confident in their relationship or he's just oblivious to it. Brother husbands. Jackie had to adult and go to Costco. We're getting ready to dive in on our first spicy reward story. So you picked a good time. Shenanigans, Denise. Steph, it's a totally sus sitch. That's tough to say. We got there, ladies and gentlemen. We done did it. Unlocked the spicy story. I'm at NTA with OP here. I think there's probably a lot more going on. I hope we get an update to this. Oh,
There's not an update.
no updates, but there's an OP comment here. Okay. Okay, OP. OP says, I know they're not hooking up. She's just passive and won't cause conflict because I made her aware that it's causing conflict in our marriage. But I made her aware. I know they're not hooking up. She's just passive and won't cause conflict, but I made her aware that it's causing conflict in our marriage. I know they're not hooking up. Do ya? How? How? And even if they're not hooking up right now, do you know that you're not being taken advantage of by both of them? I'm really curious how he knows they're not hooking up. Daily inspection. She keeps going over to his place. Yeah, she goes over there. All right, let's talk about this for a second. TLS Journey in the #1 spot. Laura Lee, City Mouse, NYC. Jen here. Opal, Lady of Poison. Elise Newman, Adventures with Pam. I am Diva Kiva. Took me a second to figure out that username, but I think I got it. Please tell me I got it. Haunted Gal, good to see you. Been a minute. Crash Cart Ronnie, been a minute. Laura Litzel, Janice C. 2014. Can I get a rescue on numbers 12 and beyond, please? Trevor, you're new. Welcome to the show. We're gonna read some spicy stories here in just a second. We'll figure out what's going on here. Jackie Kelly and Branla85 are numbers 13 and 14 there. Thank you guys so much. You have unlocked the spicy story with Candy Thunder feedback. And the next one is going to unlock a spicy story with Caden Thunder feedback. This one on it. Too late. It's too late. Okay, we are on high bears now. 15 hundo. That is the goal. Okay, got it. It is time for the spicy story. Hey, Mary Louise, first time catching live. Been listening to the podcast. Much love to you all. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate that. I say greatly appreciate a lot. I'm going to find some different things to say. I'm hyper aware of the fact that I say it a lot now. And now you are too. It's like somebody mentioning that my mustache color grows straight into my beard. And now for the rest of the stream, that's all you're going to be able to see. Sorry. And you're welcome. All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Dusty Thunder here with another Reddit story for you. This one's a spicy one, though. It comes from Oh No Consequences and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Filing for Divorce Because My Husband Over-Tightens All the Jar Lids? I'm going to read this again because I'm having a what the fuck moment. Am I the astronaut for filing for divorce because my husband over-tightens all the jar lids?
Take note.
Candy Thunder says, take note. I don't over-tighten the jar lids. No, hers is water cups. She thinks I over-tighten, like Navy's cups. It's not, I don't over-tighten them. When they empty, the suction makes them tighter.
We just figured that out.
It's...
But I thought it was you.
No, we didn't just figure that out. I've been telling you that for a long time. You just finally started believing me. That's all. Let me get the poll started here. Sorry. Restart. Poll has started. Am I the astronaut for filing for divorce because my husband over-tightens all the jar lids? And this is a spicy story, ladies and gentlemen. What's in the jar? What's in the jar? What's in the jar?
We both just did that.
Spicy.
It's a spicy story.
It's a spicy story.
We need
One day children everywhere will think of me. Chef Boyardee commercials. Who remembers that? You remember the Chef Boyardee commercials where he's like a little kid? It says, one day children everywhere will think of me. Thank you for not spoiling. Temperature difference. Cold drink to room temperature, it expands. And I think if as it empties too, like sippy cups or water cups that are spill proof, suction makes them tighter.
You remove the straw.
Yeah. Bella, you remember that commercial? We have 3 seconds left. Majority of people voting in TA here, 52% in fact. And they're like, nah, don't fuck with my jars. Oh, man. All right, here we go. His over-tightening jar lids has been an issue since he was just visiting at my house when we were dating. First, it started with just things he used, and then over time, it became every damn glass jar with a metal lid. He tightened them so much that I couldn't open them without assistance. It wasn't a huge deal if he was here, but if I was alone, it was so annoying. More times than I can count, I've opened a new jar of something because I couldn't get the jar open. Oh, got it. Yeah. It's been a recurring cycle over the past 5 years. It's just a thing that would escalate until I had a major meltdown and freaked out, screaming, frustrated, and seemingly crazy because it's just a lid. Then it would get better for a while. Then it would slowly become an issue again, just getting worse and worse until I reach a breaking point again. Sometimes I literally feel insane for being so upset over jar lids. He initially claimed that he did it to keep the food fresh. After many arguments about it and my insistence that I don't believe it keeps anything fresh, and even if it does, make things last longer, I don't care if it means that I can't eat my frickin' food when I want. I'll just replace things that go bad because they are closed normally. Then the excuse was that it's a habit. So about a month ago, my husband had a family emergency and had to travel out of state for 10 days. First day he's gone, I discover a jar I can't open. I was annoyed and was going to the store to buy new pickles when the neighbor said hi and to let him know if I needed anything while the soon-to-be ex is out of town. I said, wait here and went and got the jar, and he opened it. The next day, I saw him outside and asked him to open another jar. He offered to come open all the jars. I agreed, and he came in, and he went to the fridge and opened all the jars except 2, which he couldn't get open. I thanked him profusely and told him I'd baked some of his favorite cookies later in the week. He laughed and said it was no big deal, and after confirming that I wouldn't be upset if the remaining 2 jars were destroyed in his attempt to open them, he took them to his garage to open them one way or another. He said that he's heard me screaming about over-tightened jar lids a few times over the years, and that he's really pondered if I was crazy or if my husband was really over-tightening the jar lids. He said, this was intentional. It was every jar, and I'm sure he doesn't regularly use hot pepper paste or mango puree or any of your other fancy cooking stuff. Then he held up the 2 jars he couldn't open and said, I don't know why he's doing it, but it wasn't an accident. Huh. After he left, I locked the door and sat on my kitchen floor and cried. Then I felt hot and lightheaded. I vomited in the trash can. My chest hurt. It crossed my mind that I might be having a heart attack. I thought about calling an ambulance, but sat back down on my kitchen floor instead, okay with just dying if it was a heart attack. Just like, if it takes me, it takes me at that point. Later, the neighbor came back with the open jar of hot fudge and apologized that he couldn't save the figs. He said he broke the jar trying to get it open. He also apologized for what he said about my husband doing it on purpose. I assured him it was okay. I couldn't sleep that night, tossed and turned all night. I called off of work. By 10 a.m., I realized that I couldn't stay married anymore, and I made an appointment with a lawyer for the next day. There are literally no other issues. No cheating, no abuse. We had a good sex life. Both have good jobs, nice house, no financial issues. He was absolutely blindsided when he came home and I told him I wanted a divorce. He still won't admit that he tightened the lids on purpose. He suggested we go to marriage counseling, but I refused. There is no point. I just literally can't get past the goddamned jar lids. I still feel a little bit crazy about that. I have no idea why he would tighten every jar lid so tightly that I couldn't open it. He's given me no reason. He still won't even admit that he did it on purpose. But the hot pepper paste is in the back of the fridge. I use it only when I make Indian food. It's behind other things. He's never used it. It's nothing you could put in food without cooking it. The pepper paste could not have been an accident. It couldn't. Maybe he put mango puree on his toast or in his oatmeal, but the pepper paste couldn't have been an accident. That's what my life comes down to. I'm getting a divorce because the lid on my hot pepper paste was over-tightened. If it had been every damn jar except that one, I could try. I could have a sliver of doubt. I could do something else, but I just can't get past the hot pepper paste. Most of our friends and families either think that I'm crazy or an asshole. What do you think? And here to give us some feedback on this, the spicy pepper paste Candy Thunder. Oh my God, it's Candy Thunder.
Did you just call me spicy pepper paste?
I did. You're spicy candy.
This one, I there's like some jars that you can open with like the help of that like jar opener thing that grips the top, and then there's some that you can't. But the fact that he did this to a jar that he has never used, to me, says that he was doing it on purpose, and that's why she's divorcing him. But whether he was doing it to make him need her, whether he was doing it for freshness, whether he was doing it for whatever reason, the fact that she asked him to stop is reason enough for him to stop. If he cared about her sanity, because obviously this was something that was making her feel crazy, not being able to open the jars, and he still did it. Like, he went and found a jar that he didn't even use and tightened it down so that she couldn't open it, so that she would fucking need him to open jars. Like,
why?
Grow the fuck up,
that's
dude.
the point. Why? Why?
You have a problem. You go to counseling. Like, everything else in your marriage is fine. Your wife asked you to stop doing this, and you kept doing it. And you kept doing it to the point where you did it to every single jar in your house. I would be flaming pissed. I would be
you would.
livid.
Yeah, you would.
Like, this would be enough for divorce.
Okay. But hang on. Because like we talked about at the very beginning of the story, or like right before we started reading this story, for a long time, you thought I was over-tightening Navy's cups, and it ended up being temperature change and a matter of pressure because they were emptied out that tightened them. I was not over-tightening them. What if the fridge is like, the fridge is not working correctly or something? I'm saying there is an anomaly chance. 0.000001 is still a chance that it could be something that is like crazy out of there. Because if the cup thing drove you nuts to the point where you were like, I can't do this anymore, and then we find out years later that it was other environmental factors that did this thing, it's possible. It probably is him being a controlling asshole. I just don't know why. There's a path here where it's like,
because he needs her to need him.
Yes.
Like, that's why in my mind, that's why.
If it's intentional, that's the only thing that makes sense is so that she'll never leave him because she needs him, right? And maybe he learned that from his dad. Maybe, I don't know, some kind of bullshit tactic he learned from someone. But I think over the next year or so, I hope we get updates from Opie, because I think she's going to start noticing things that were other factors, not just the jars.
I agree.
If he's doing that, he's doing other stuff to make her need him, and she just hasn't noticed it yet.
And to make her feel weak, like she can't do things on her own.
Yep.
And to me, that form of manipulation, like the fact that she has brought this up again and again and again to the point where she's having like uncontrollable meltdowns, to me says that she has gone to like frustration, resentment. She's in indifference. Like, she's like, I'm fucking done. I'm done with this crap. I have talked to you and talked to you and talked to you, and you won't stop.
Yeah.
And I cannot see this happening over and over again. Like, something gets open and then you go back to it, and their fridge magically making something tight again. Like, I can't skip right over that. I can't imagine that being a thing. Like, I can't imagine this being anything other than him tightening them, reaching into the fridge and tightening them so tight, because there's tight. And then there's like getting a wrench out and tightening it down, and that's what I feel.
Mechanical tightening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Let's step you up just a little bit. That's the gravity.
If your marriage was in jeopardy, if you saw me freaking out about something that was causing me so much pain, you would do whatever you could do to eliminate that pain.
Right.
You would care about me enough to stop fucking doing it. And ditto, like if I was doing something that caused you pain, like I would try to fix it.
Yeah, H-Bear, saw your comment back there. The fact that he's not seeking a solution means that it's intentional, right?
Yeah.
And that makes sense. If he's not trying to solve the problem at all, he's just like, oh, just a habit, I guess.
Right.
What does this guy fucking do? Like Tuesday nights after you go to bed, he's like, oh, it's time to tighten all the jars. And he like goes and sets a little stool up in front of the fridge, and he's like,
I would set up a fucking camera.
Ooh, a fridge camera?
A fridge camera.
Oh.
Or a kitchen camera or something. People do strange shit.
Well, I mean, she doesn't need it anymore. She's leaving his ass.
He needs to know why he needs her to need him in that way. Why does he want her to feel weak? Why does he need to feel more powerful? That's his question. He needs to ask himself that and fix it before he goes into another relationship. So it's not just about the jars, to me anyways.
Agreed. I think she's going to... The MacGuffin, the jars of the MacGuffin. It's the purposeful gaslighting. Yeah, it's just a tool being used in there. It's like he had to have learned this tactic somewhere, though, and I do think that she's going to end up figuring out there are many, many other things. It is funny though, he came back, and in the experience where he found out he was getting a divorce was really jarring to him. And then his ass got canned.
Someone says the updates. Did she already post an update?
What?
Hold on. What?
What?
Hold on. This is the Oh No. It's from Oh No Consequences. So I gotta go back
JLP,
to-
yeah, even if it is some kind of environmental factor, if he was solution seeking, would have helped figure that out and would accommodate for it.
No update.
No updates?
Her account is suspended.
Ah.
Account is gone. Dusty is proud of himself. He should be. I love his dad jokes. I really do.
Shameless.
Brown's good. Canned indeed.
Shameless.
And
I'm shameless.
oh, she said it
Shameless
was.
of the pun to make.
She said it was glass jars, metal lids. That's what she said it was. All the dad jokes.
It's it's
very
Mrs. Day Jamboree.
Oh yeah, there you go.
She made a lot of jam, Spencer. You know how long that took? You got to get all the fruits, jars, a canner. I think she is. Dr. Sweets. She has to deal with this shit all day, every day. Can you imagine?
Yeah. So someone else might have had more info, but hold on. No.
Nothing.
I'm
You're
trying.
seeking it.
I'm trying.
What is happening here?
I'm trying, you guys. Well, there you go.
Found it? Well, that's the original story.
Yeah, right here. Edited to add. There you go.
Oh.
You want to read that?
Sure.
Okay.
We have an edit. Look at this.
I found
Reddit sleuthing skills yielded some fruit.
I had to do the already.
I just beat the shit out of my desk. Sorry about that. Okay, here's the edit to add. Well, after defending myself in this post, I realized there are some other things that are also circumstantial that also weigh into my decision. I had to move my office from my dining nook to a locked room because he was using my workspace on days I went into the office. That was no big deal, except he was moving important documents that I need for work. He denied moving anything and swore he was just setting up his laptop and maybe using my printer. I started taking pictures of my desk before I left for work, and things were being moved. He was the only one home. He totaled my car twice in 5 years, even though he rarely drives it. The second time was right after we married, and he put a lot of pressure on me to use the insurance money to pay off his car instead of replacing mine because I don't drive a lot and sometimes bike to work. Oh. Isolation and dependence, right? We live in the suburbs and there is no public transportation. He proposed that I could just use his car when I needed to, but I really wanted to continue having my own car. As soon as we married, he was pressuring me to have a child. His plan for childcare was for me to watch the baby while working. I wanted to save a year of childcare expenses before we talked about a baby. He didn't want to. I just felt weird about it. So I got an IUD to make sure we didn't have an accident. He was angry. Again, nothing proves any ill intent on his part, but all of those things just unsettled me. I think that does prove some ill intent, does it not? It proves a pattern of isolation and control. It proves a pattern of his attempt to create dependence. Good gravy. So am I the astronaut for filing for divorce because my husband overtightens jar lids? Nah. But it's not just jar lids. He was trying to overtighten his control on your life. He wanted to make you completely dependent. I legitimately, I'm expecting updates that are like, hey, I just found out that this thing, this thing that used to be at this height has been raised 3 inches, so it would be harder for me to reach. That's the kind of shit that I'm expecting. Little stuff that would just make her more dependent on him. Good gravy. The jars were a metaphor. There you go.
Also, not even more dependent, but more like it's these little things that he knows that he's doing but denies doing that make her feel almost like crazy, like that make
Not
you feel
almost. She feels absolutely crazy.
like she feels like these things are happening. He denies them happening. There's no one else in the house, and so it makes her feel like she's going crazy, and she keeps getting in this cycle until she explodes again, and then again he makes her feel like she's exploding for no reason and he's not doing any of this stuff. That's emotional abuse. That is gaslighting, emotional bullshittery.
The grooming that he's doing to make his emotional abuse easier is the wild part to me. So like what he's doing with the jars, what he's doing with everything else to make her less independent, is a long con to make her ultimately feel like she's gone crazy. So he does have total control over her. He's like, yeah, you know, honey, sometimes you see things that aren't there. Sometimes blah, blah, blah. It's going to become a big enough deal where he's like, let me control everything for you. And she's like, okay. And then she's got her IUD removed. She's got a child and she's being completely controlled.
Would he have messed with her birth control if it wasn't an IUD? She got the one form of birth control that he can't. Condoms and pills you can mess with, but IUDs you could not.
She got the one thing you can't tighten the lid on. You know what I mean? The one thing you can't mess with.
There you go. That was jarring, Dustin.
Or, you know, it doesn't matter now. None of this matters now because she's decided to leave him already. But if she was continuing to sniff this out and try to collect evidence, I mean, like an electrified jar, like a trick jar lid, you know what I mean? Like something that would shock the shit out of him if he tried to twist it.
Ooh. You know what I would do to
Something
this
that
guy?
would explode out of the jar?
Annoyatrons.
Annoyatrons?
Oh, no, honey, I don't hear anything. Do you hear something? Oh.
Confetti
Shit, you must
bombs.
be going crazy.
Yes.
Do you like how that feels? Oh, you don't? My bad.
You know what? It doesn't sound like he's even left yet. He just found out that he was getting a divorce.
I hope she goes through with it.
So throw some Annoyatrons in his shit as he's packing it up and taking it with him.
There you go.
Yeah, but hide it like under the sole of a shoe or like underneath the insole of a shoe or something, somewhere it's going to be hard to find.
Put it in that car that he wanted. He wanted OP to pay off.
There you go. Yeah, you're going to need several.
Put those firecracker things.
Between the jar and the lid, yeah.
What
They used to put on the door handles, like the door, yeah. And they pop when you pull apart. Yep. My dad used to do that to us this time of year all over the time.
Annoyatrons. What are annoyatrons?
Annoyatrons are...
Annoyatrons. Sorry.
Annoyatrons are these little tiny dudes. Do I have one of them sitting here?
They're like the size of like a watch battery.
Yeah, they actually use a button cell battery or a coin cell battery.
Dead fish.
And it makes a faint noise like every 5 minutes, or you can change the intervals. And it can either be a cricket sound, it can be a really faint beep, it can be a lot of things, depending on which Annoyatron you get. But it lasts for like 3 freaking years. So you can hide it somewhere. And the first time we found out about him is because we read a story where this guy was living with his girlfriend. She went on a bougie vacation and brought back a new boyfriend and kicked him out. So he left Annoyatrons in their house. And they both thought they were going crazy to the point where they ended up ending their relationship because they were losing their mind. It was amazing.
You laughed so hard at that story.
I did.
Okay.
It's so freaking amazing.
Where are we at on the... I don't know how any of this
We're at
works.
706 of 1500 on the high bears right now. So we'll bounce back to our normal story pattern here.
Somebody said there's a post with his version, so I'm gonna go.
Ooh, there's a his version post? Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. I should be on story number 4. Yeah. I'm on story 4.
Sorry, I didn't clear it because sometimes you want to go back.
That's fine. No, I like the Ming there. Ellen. We'll see if we can hunt it down first. AITA for tightening jar lids and ruining my marriage. Is that the actual title of it? That would be hilarious. The plot thickens. All right, here we go. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder once again with another Reddit story for you. This one from AITAH titled, Am I the Astronaut for Not Letting My Sister Announce Her Pregnancy at My Wedding? Let's do a poll, shall we? Am I the astronaut for not letting my sister announce her pregnancy at my wedding? Your wedding, your choice. That's where I'm at. NTA for me. The wedding drama continues. Oh, my. Oh, my. A lot of NTA coming through. Joyce, yeah, we've heard several scenarios where people want to announce something at an OP's wedding. So I think it's a common topic to come up here. She can't steal your thunder? Okay, Turner. There you go. Overwhelmingly going the NTA direction here. This was posted 2 days ago, so it shouldn't be something that we've read before. NTA gonna take it on the home stretch here with 5 seconds left on the poll. By the way, 720 of 15 hundo on the high bears to get the next spicy story and Caden Thunder feedback. 96% going NTA here. Holy cow. Shemika, welcome to the Gosh Heckett fam. Also TLS, Rob Fisk, Adventures with Pam dropping the high bears, Stormborn, TLS again there, Raina, Candy Thunder, Just Mags, Brooke, Peg, Ashman, Jenny Hansen, Alejandra, Abby Weston, Maori Rocks, Call with the first gift there. Welcome to the stream. Just Mags, Nicody, Amanda F., Nia Soulstar, Donna, Effie Ramsey, Brandla85. Thank you all so much. Heather, Spacey, Stacy, Abby, Honey Bear, Erica. Thank you. All right, here we go. I, 28 female, got married last month, and it was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. However, it turned into a bit of a family drama. And now I'm being accused of being selfish and an asshole by my sister, 26 female. A few weeks before the wedding, my sister called me up and told me she was pregnant. I was thrilled for her and congratulated her. Then she asked if she could announce her pregnancy at my wedding. She said it would be a perfect moment since all of her family and friends would be there, and she wanted to share her joy with everyone. I thought about it and told her no. I explained that my wedding day was meant to be about me and my husband, and I didn't want any distractions or overshadowing moments. I suggested that she could have her own party to make the announcement or wait until after the wedding to tell everyone. She seemed disappointed but said she understood. I thought that was the end of it. Fast forward to the wedding day. During the reception, my sister stood up to make a toast. I didn't think much of it since we hadn't planned a strict schedule for speeches. However, during her toast, she announced her pregnancy. She done did it. Everyone cheered and congratulated her, and the rest of the night, people were more focused on her news than our wedding. I was furious, but didn't want to cause a scene at my own wedding, so I waited until the next day to confront her. She said she couldn't keep it in any longer and felt the wedding was the best time to share her happiness. I told her she was out of line and selfish for doing that without my permission. It's not just without your permission, it's directly against your wishes. Now she and some other family members are calling me an asshole for not understanding her excitement and for being selfish myself. They think I'm overreacting and that a wedding is a perfect time for happy announcements like this. So Reddit, am I the astronaut for not letting my sister announce her pregnancy at my wedding? Well, I mean, you didn't not let her. Once she started, you didn't stop her, right? So I don't think that's the real question here. It's, am I the astronaut for being upset that my sister went against my wishes when I had explicitly told her not to announce her pregnancy at my wedding and fucking did it anyway? And no, you are not the astronaut for being upset about that because it's bullshit. It was deceitful. It was malicious. This was pre-planned. This was premeditated. She knew she was going to do it before the wedding. It wasn't like I was just there and everyone was around and it was so exciting and I just couldn't keep it inside anymore. Bullshit. She just decided she didn't give a fuck. Your wedding, your choice. The rest of the family that's like, you're overreacting, blah, 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 are now blinded by baby news. Sans baby news blindness, I have a feeling everybody would be agreeing with you here. But right now, she's taking a priority seat. She's sitting first class when it comes to family matters. The newness of your wedding didn't even make it through the fucking reception before somebody else bumped it to second place. Cool. Now, if you had agreed to this, it would be this would be a non-issue. You did not agree to it. And it wasn't like she surprised you and did it. She explicitly asked and you explicitly declined. And then she decides, I am disinclined to acquiesce to your request, and goes ahead and fucking does it anyway. I hope you get hemorrhoids. It's bullshit. Toriah, the way that I would announce being preggers at her shower. Words are hard. You know what I mean? Yeah, that would be cool. So OP, now every event that your sister has for the rest of her fucking life, announce something. I don't care how small it is. I don't care if you get up and tap a glass and you're like, I had an ingrown toenail removed yesterday. Just thought everyone should know. This seemed like the right moment to share my joy. Harleen Francis Quinn with a love you. Helena Elizadel. Elizalde. Brittany, Veg for Life, Rebecca, Tammy Lee, Brittany again there, Rebecca, Just Mags, Brittany dropping the 200 high bears, Dr. Sweets dropping the 250. Laura Lee, Kitchen Cats, and the Gosh Heck It fam. Heck yes, welcome. Jerry Lee go fourth. There's a weird burp crawling up my throat there, sorry. Books, Coffee Tea, Susanna Marie, Erica Eternal, Luz Perez, Callie, Nico, Just Mag, Crazy Nana, Yari, Gigi, Effie Ramsey, Books, Coffee Tea again, Janine Benham, Crazy Danabella, Erica Brown, Kever, Challenger. I still, every time I see it, want to say Clevenger. Jasmine, Sophia, Viola the Fairy, Daniela, Harleen. Thank you so much, guys. Greatly appreciate that. We hit it. Okay. All right. We get the Caden Spicy story up here now. We get to do that. Can you give me a save on 12 and beyond, please? All right. Let's rock and roll. Okay. Gotcha. In the number one spot for the high bear goal is Brittany. And then Dr. Sweets in the number 2 spot, nipping at her heels, TLS Journey, Laura Lee, Brandla 85, Adventures with Pam, Da Balls, Bitch, Haunted Gal, Candy Thunder, I am Diva Kiva, Addie Nicole, Mags Amazing. Then we also have Leo named Walter, Opal, Lady of Poison, Rob Fisk, Epherian, Queenie E33, Bella Teresa, Nakano Kirishima, Cassie Harrelson, Brian Whitener, My Own Dark Knight, Erica Eternal, DB Cinder, Pashi Motions, Charlie Diego, DDB, FZV, Awk, Denise Burkhardt, Kitchen Cats, to Beyond All. It's hard. I don't know what it means. Sorry. Help me out. Jerry Lee Go Forth, Totally Radical, Stormborn, Veg for Life, Jamie Ruth, Taylor Bond, 257, Abby May, 99, and Justina Josfades. Thank you all so much. Greatly appreciate that. We have C. Greatly appreciate it. It happened again. I said it. Greatly appreciate it.
I greatly appreciate you.
I greatly appreciate you too.
Greatly appreciate
A greatly? It's not a suitable substitute. I gotta make a list and start working on them.
It's not.
It's the headphones. Push it down right there.
Number 1.
Okay, spicy story number 1. Got it. Let me get the next gift goal set up here. This one is going to unlock another spicy story and Candy Thunder feedback. The spiciest. Spiciest of the spicy. Here we go. We are going for 1K finger hearts. Pinning that now. Let's go. Hey, Cece, Unicorn Goddess, Tricia, thanks so much for the shares there. Greatly appreciate that. Greatly appreciate. Gosh darn it. Denise Burkhardt with the share there as well. Thank you so much. Hey, Ellen, thank you for leading the charge on the likes goal here. We're at 76%, 385K out of 500K. Y'all are rocking it. Here we go. Spicy story number 1. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with a spicy Reddit story for you. This one is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Saying My Step-granddaughter needs to be taking over the housework since school is out and she's 16. I butchered it. I'll say it again. Title of this one is, Am I the Astronaut for Saying My Step-granddaughter needs to be taking over the housework since school is out and she's 16. Interesting. Step-granddaughter. So it's a grandparent saying this about their child's household. 16-year-old is on summer mode, and grandparent is saying you need to take over all the housework. Taking over? There's a big difference between taking over and pitching in, right? This feels like Yeah, this feels like an asshole move to me. Whether it may be well-intentioned or not, it feels like an asshole move. I'm going to go 2. I'm going hard. And my gut reaction was 3, but it's a spicy story, which means I feel like they probably spiced it up by doing something to the fullest extent. So let's go 2. For me, hey, Brittany with the finger hearts there. Lene Salyuk, Bella, Candy, CLKB in the Gosh Hecked fam. Heck yeah. Macy with the rose, Lene, Keegan, Lisa Patrick West, Anika, Bella, Jerry Legal 4th, Dr. Sweets, Brittany. Thank you so much. What she want her bio grandkids to take over the housework? Ooh, Ellen. Context clue with the step-granddaughter statement there. Okay. Ask on 2 it is for 38% of voters. Let's find out if we're right or not, and then we'll get Caden Thunder up here for some feedback as well. This is a burner account. I don't think I'm an asshole, but my daughter-in-law says I am. You know, when an OP opens up with I don't think I'm an asshole, normally they are. I'm 70 female. That's right, 70 female. I let my eldest son, 51, and his second wife, female 41, move into my home after my son had to sell his small furniture stores at a liquidation price because big box stores took away his business. They eventually had to file for bankruptcy and sell the home my son had bought while married to his first wife that passed away. Now, my daughter-in-law wasn't an employee when she met, dated, or married my son. My new daughter-in-law wasn't an employee when she met, dated, or married my son. She remained unemployed while they lost everything they had. I believe if daughter-in-law had gotten a job, they could have avoided bankruptcy and kept their home. I know my son was distraught to lose the home he had shared with his first wife. I was under the impression the home was paid for, and at one point it was, but my son and new daughter-in-law had taken out an equity loan, once in debt, to help cover daily expenses and pay for step-granddaughter's school trip. My new daughter-in-law has a 16-year-old daughter. I let the daughter move in as well. The kid seems lazy to me. She didn't do anything but go to school when it was in and has been out on summer break for a month now. My son and his wife are both working and I still work part-time helping a family friend. I do not charge them rent, utilities, or food costs. I tell them to save their money. I paid off the remaining loans so my son's credit wouldn't tank. My son pays for their phones and phone plans and basic needs like hygiene items. I think my step-granddaughter needs to be taking over the majority of the housework since she's home all day. Last Tuesday, I told her the trash needed to be taken to the big cans and those pulled to the road for the next day of pickup. Our trash pickup runs incredibly early, so I set them out the night before. I told her everything needed to be dusted and floors vacuumed and swept and then mopped. I showed her where everything was and told her that there was laundry to do and some needed to be ironed. I told her to please wash, dry, and iron the sheets and tablecloths as well as the sofa covers, as well as scrub down the bathrooms. I came home and not a thing had been done. That's where I'm at. I came home and not a thing had been done. She had fixed food and not washed any dishes that she had used. No laundry was done and the floors hadn't been touched. I asked her why and she said she didn't feel like it. I told her tough, you're staying here rent-free and you will do as I ask you or you can get out. She ran to her mother, who said I'm mean and I'm treating her like a maid. I told my daughter-in-law that there was no sense in the kid doing nothing all day and she could at least clean her dishes. I told my daughter-in-law the same. My rules are get out. My son agreed with me. I told them my step-granddaughter could get a job if she didn't want to do the housework. My daughter-in-law is livid. I told her I'm not charging you rent. Daughter-in-law said I'm cruel to threaten a child with being homeless, and I told her daughter-in-law her kid isn't my responsibility. And I told daughter-in-law that her kid isn't my responsibility, and I'm doing her a favor by allowing her to live in my home. My son sided with me and said his stepdaughter is lazy, and there's nothing wrong with what I asked to do. He told step-granddaughter to either do what my mom asks, or you can get out. Now he and his wife are at odds. This morning, daughter-in-law asked if I was ready to apologize, and I said nope, but today step-granddaughter will have other chores on top of more to complete, so she may not want to sleep until afternoon. My daughter-in-law said stepdaughter had plans today, and I said too bad, either chores or get out. Now daughter-in-law is saying that she's leaving with her kid unless I apologize. I told her to let me know so I can get my keys back. Am I the astronaut for asking step-granddaughter to take over the housework? I am excited to get some feedback from Caden Thunder on this. Before we get into that, we got to give some thanks because we hit the finger heart goal here to get the spiciest story of all. TLS Journey in the lead on this one. Brittany in the number 2 spot. Elise Newman, Dr. Sweets, Bella Teresa, Anise Moon. We've got Landana Forrest. I am Diva Kiva. Lala M. Chardy. Lala M. Chardy. Addie Nicole, Max Mazing, Maori, Rocks. Can you give me a rescue on numbers 12 beyond? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Who irons sheets? That was your.
Ooh.
I don't. Hotels. I think they might. I think hotels, like hotels. Does anybody here iron sheets? Seems like a pretty bougie thing. Anna Hartman, Laura Lee, Sent _ Viola the Fairy. We've got C.F. Pelletier, author. Aries from Mars. Mia Shelton, Miss Arena, Be Strong, Cosmo Unicorn God, Taylor Bond. We got Tammy Lee, Crystal Marshall, Nohemi 122741, and Lisa Patrick West. Y'all are awesome. Thank you so much. I'll get the next one set up. This is probably going to carry over into VIP.
Just do the rolls.
Okay. We are jumping into a Just Because to take us out here. We're going to get Caden's feedback on this, and then we'll jump into the spicy story. You ready? Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, it's me, Caden Thunder. Hello. So this was a doozy, wasn't it? What are you guys thinking? What's your guys' opinion on this story before I give my expertise, my wise intelligence before I share it with you? Yeah. So I'm about on the same page. So chores are understandable, to leave some chores for a child to do. I think that's perfectly reasonable. However, this doesn't feel like a fair, hey, I'm going to leave some chores for you and your siblings to do so you guys can get that stuff done and then do whatever, This feels more like a Cinderella situation to me, where it's kind of all being put on the stepchild because she doesn't view the stepchild as an actual, relative or family member. She's not my responsibility, but also she's going to be cleaning my house. So, I mean, if you're going to be having her do all of these things and clean your house, then you should probably treat her as a actual grandchild before you just start treating her like a maid, So, I don't know. If I had to do chores when I was a kid, I think chores are completely normal. But this doesn't feel like chores. This feels more like unpaid employment. So,
The prisoners with jobs.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And
prisoners with jobs.
And the whole it could be true that she comes from a household where cleaning and stuff like that isn't really something that has been a norm to her. So the big switch up of expectations might be different for her because, this is a new place and this is a new lifestyle. So for the grandmother to all of a sudden expect her to adhere to all of her expectations and then get that mad at her when she didn't, and then say that it doesn't matter if she has plans because she has to stay home and clean her house or she's homeless. That's a lot of bullshit, dude. I don't know. I think that's ridiculous. I think you can expect chores of someone, but I think it should be fair between all of the children, and I don't think you should be forcing all of this upon the step-grandchild, because that's another thing. It's you really had to put that step in there, didn't you?
What's where are you at verdict wise?
Verdict wise, I think it was done with malicious intent. I don't think it was a mistake. I believe she thinks she's in the right, but I believe she thinks she's in the right because she doesn't give two shits about the daughter-in-law or her child. So I think it's ASCON 1 behavior because it's done with malicious intent. It's done to cause emotional harm, I feel like. Yeah, she probably believes she's right and the hero of her story, but at the same time, it sounds like she doesn't like his new wife for whatever that reason may be. And she said a lot of keywords in this story that kind of alienates the wife and the grandchild from the family. And I believe she just doesn't like them, doesn't consider them family, and doesn't want to, I don't know. It just feels malicious. I'd say ASCON 1. I mean, expecting the child to do chores is one thing. And I'm not saying that it's ASCON 1 because the child has chores. It's not what I'm saying. But the way that she is treating these people seems like ASCON 1 behavior to me. I don't know.
You know where I'm at?
Where are you at?
I'm right here.
Everyone sucks here?
Everyone sucks here.
Why?
And it is because this is a here. I'm gonna slide you to the side real quick. This is a collision of worldviews, right? So you've got a grandparent with an old school mentality that is you get up, you do your work, you earn your keep here, and there's nothing wrong with doing that to your own family. Imposing it on someone else's family without discussing it first is a big deal, right? Then you've got the kid who has a completely different worldview because they've experienced something totally different, and instead of being willing to like even clean up after themselves, we're just like, no, fuck this, I didn't feel like it. Her mom is obviously bucking against everything. Dad isn't sticking up for his daughter at all, or his wife at all, or being a mediator here at all. He's just taking his mom's side or his dad's side. Is it mom or dad?
The dad sucks too.
He's just jumping on his parents' side. Like everybody sucks here because no one is communicating. They're just at odds. This is just a battle.
That's true. Everyone
It's differing worldviews this situation could easily be resolved with some communication, but instead of communicating, they're all just like making demands on each other.
I do feel like the grandma is still kind of being extra crappy towards the step grandchild because she's a step grandchild. Because it doesn't sound like these expectations are the same for the other grandchildren.
Right. And he's not, I understand he's not her bio dad, but if he's accepted her, he's dad, right?
Yeah.
And I understand he's technically stepdad, but that doesn't mean you don't stand up for your bonus kid, right? You don't, and he's not standing up for his wife either here, not even trying to communicate through it. He's just like, she's right. Do the chores or get out. Like, okay, well, that's brand new. That's kind of a shock to the system.
Yeah.
We need to ease through that. We need to communicate through that. We need to take bite-sized approaches to this, and it's not any of that. Everybody is at an extreme opposite viewpoint from the other person, and none of them are willing to even talk about it. They're just pissed. Yeah. Hey, life's goal achieved. Look at y'all go. Hell yeah.
And I understand there are no other step grandchildren, but the fact that she's emphasizing step, like the emphasis that she puts on step, like regardless if there are any other grandchildren or not, if there were other grandchildren, it feels like she wouldn't treat them that way. She's not treating her like actual family, which obviously, every family dynamic is different, but I still don't think you can have your cake and eat it too in that way, that you can treat her, you can make those demands of someone like that just right off the bat and still treat them like a stranger. So I don't know. That's my viewpoint on it. We're going to have differing viewpoints on it, but that's my take.
Sure. Yeah. And the whole my house, my rules approach.
Yeah.
If that's your approach, that's fine.
Well,
but enforcing that after the fact, instead of communicating it ahead of time and be like, I want you to understand, if you live here, this is how it's going to be. And everybody being like, yeah, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Instead, everything's being enforced after the fact. Everybody's pulling their play in response to someone else's play.
Yes. And the child's not in the right for saying, I don't feel like it either. Like, obviously not. But
you know what I think happened there? I think mom was like, don't do that shit. Don't do any chores that she gives you. Just absolutely. Don't do it, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, she probably went to her mom and she was like, hey, look at this bullshit she gave me, and she was like, yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah, Callie, the son is doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
in this.
he's definitely an asshole.
He's taking the mama's boy approach here and just nodding his head and being like, yep.
Yeah.
You don't like it, you gotta go.
Cool. Yeah, everyone does suck here. I agree with that. Everyone's got their own stake in this.
Everybody sucks. Okay, we unlocked the spiciest story of all, so we'll go ahead and jump into that because we only have 5 minutes left. Caden Thunder, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Nice work. What was it? Is it? Yeah. Yeah. Always the funniest kid, just effortlessly. He and I understand why so many people can't believe that Caden Thunder is not Candy Thunder's bio son, because they're both just effortlessly hilarious, and it cracks me up. They have some similar isms too. All right, we're gonna dive into the spiciest story of all. Did you have something you were trying to tell me? Oh, okay. Do a chart list for every chore chart list. Yeah, and you know what? If everybody came together and like, okay, we can do this, like, let's figure it out. But there's got to be some communication there. Oh my goodness. Kirsty subscribed. Welcome to that gosh heckin' fam. Becky Dorn. We've got Gojo Lee, Jasmine, Christy Burke, Kayla, Tammy Lee, Adri, Kevin Challenger, Laura Lee, TLS, Brittany, Deborah G, Sophia, CF, Boletier, author. I'm sure I'm butchering that. I'm sorry. TLS, Laura Lee, Emeldine Shepherd, Brittany, Maori Rocks. Thank you guys so much. Elise, thank you. And thank you guys for hitting that like goal. I know those of you who are really run hard at it, your fingers are all cramped up by the end of this thing. So thank you so much. This is spicy story number 3, correct? Here we go. Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder again with another spicy Reddit story for you. This one is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Leaving My Infant Child Home Alone While She Was Asleep? No. Let's get a poll started here. I think y'all know what I'm going to answer. Starting poll now. Am I the astronaut for leaving my infant child home while she was asleep? Alone. Yes. Am I the astronaut for leaving my infant child home alone while she was asleep? You know what? I was really hoping that I'd end this stream on a really pissed off note. I was really hoping for that. I was really hoping to end this with like rage. You like to see me angry, don't you? That was a delayed reaction. It's called infinity. There isn't a "you're freaking psycho" option. Yeah, we don't have that yet. It's not part of the scale yet. 4 seconds left. AskCon 1, I think, is winning here. The fact that there were some, I don't know. This is 90% of voters went AskCon 1 on this.
That's our biggest yet. AskCon 1 response.
I'm going to reset to my normal blue scene here before we go red alert. I'm going to fucking rage out mode. Please read the whole thing. General statements of judgment without any intelligent feedback are entirely unhelpful. I am legitimately looking for flaws in my thinking. It's like the beginning of Law and Order. Context. I live in a very small town, the type of place with 8 roads where people drive golf carts to get around, and it's not surprising to see 6-year-olds riding the streets on their 4-wheelers or dirt bikes. My daughter is 6 months old and a very consistent sleeper. After she falls asleep, she doesn't wake up to eat until 4 to 5. She sleeps with only a pacifier, no blankets or toys in the crib with her. I have a network PTZ camera above her crib. The camera is set up. Wow. The camera is set up to send a push notification to my and my spouse's phones if any movement is detected. And okay, made it about 10 seconds into this before I had to whip out the freaking "words are hard" graphic.
You got this, babe.
Totally. I have a network PTZ camera above her crib. The camera is set up to send a push notification to my and my spouse's phones if any movement is detected, and it is very sensitive. Both my internet connection and my wireless reception are very reliable. I love my children very much. My spouse and I work hard to ensure we are meeting our kids' needs physically, mentally, and emotionally. We don't use phones, tablets, or TV to babysit our kids, so we can do stuff around them, but not with them. The event. I had a small get-together with some friends in town. It's 6 blocks from my house. It feels like 3, but it is 6. Before leaving, I double-checked the monitor and made sure my daughter was asleep. I took my golf cart to the get-together. I knew I would be down there for 2 to 3 hours before my spouse would get home. My spouse and I were on the same page with this decision. I had a friend that got very upset with me about this decision, and some of the things that they said about me have pissed me off and rubbed me the wrong way. Am I the astronaut for leaving my daughter at home in this specific situation? Things for consideration. The biggest indictment of my decision is, what if something happens? Well, I've thought about that, and I believe that to be a boogeyman question. I prefer to consider much more specific questions and risks. What if she stops breathing? I sleep 8 hours at night. There are so many times when I am under the same roof as her, and if she were to randomly stop breathing, I wouldn't know it for hours, and being home would benefit me 0. What happens if someone were to come in the home and take her?
A, small town where everyone knows everyone. Again, the type of town where young elementary age kids are permitted to walk the town park and play without adult supervision. B, the same thing could happen with some of our younger babysitters. What if she starts crying? She's safe in her crib. If she starts crying, I hop on my golf cart and run home quickly. What if you get hurt or have a medical emergency and can't return home? What if I have a heart attack in my home? Or what if I have a heart attack in my home? The emergency argument is just as likely while I'm home alone as when I'm out with others. What if there's a fire? I primarily trust the odds on this one, especially considering time away and distance from home. Top comment, YTA. This isn't just being an asshole. This is called child neglect. Assume the following statements apply if you live in the US. There is a common misconception that CPS is a bunch of child-stealing assholes who like to break up functional families and take kids and. This simply is not true. The vast, huge majority of family and CPS interactions end with the child staying right at home. This includes the vast majority of cases even when abuse or neglect has been substantiated. That's right, folks. Social workers don't actually want to take your kids. They do it as a last case. This child might actually die if we don't intervene. Choice. Guess where your choice puts you? Yep, squarely in the last case scenario. Let's say for whatever reason your infant was discovered home alone. Let me tell you what would happen next. A, you and your husband would both be arrested. You're in a small town, so your names would be prominently featured in the local news, and depending on your state and local laws, it's entirely possible the headlines would be accompanied by lovely pictures of both your mugshots. B, your infant would be transported to the hospital without your consent, and you would most definitely not be allowed to accompany them. The whole actively being arrested and booked for child neglect thing, remember? At the hospital, your lone, terrified baby would be subjected to a very invasive exam looking for signs of physical and sexual abuse, as well as any sign of long-term physical or medical neglect. C, child services will be contacted by the sheriff, police, EMS, and emergency room, and, not or, each agency would separately fill out a legally mandated suspected child abuse or neglect form. And trust me, when that mountain of paperwork shows up, it's noticed. The social worker would take emergency custody of your baby. You would not be consulted on this, nor would you have any legal standing to prohibit it. In fact, you're probably still busy being booked and or getting transported to whichever jail your county does overnight before you see a judge, because your small town sure as heck does not have those required accommodations. E, your baby will be placed in a foster home. That might, if you are very lucky, be a family member. More likely, it will be someone within your state who is licensed but has no connection with your baby. F, that emergency stay will last anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks, and that is just the legal maximum allowed before a case must go before a family judge. This, of course, assumes there's no case backload. I've seen emergency placements last for months, not because of cruelty of child services or the courts, but because the docket is booked. G, you will come before the judge. Child services will present their case, and I can assure you that most definitely, unless you are wildly lucky, the judge will approve continued placement with child services until child services determines whether you are a fit parent for your child to return to. Honestly, the best case outcome, 6 months later after intensive family involvement, parenting classes, drug testing, supervised visits, your baby comes home again. And that's pretty rarely a best case outcome. Stop being an asshole. Let's get her up here. Candy Thunder, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this for a minute. Because,
Yeah, I know. So I picked this story, one, because I loved this top comment, and I love that she spelled everything out for this OP. Whether or not this story is true, people do this. They actually do this shit. And she gave all these reasons of why she could go do this, but never once did she say, like, I shouldn't do this because I chose to become a mom. I chose to have a baby. I chose to be a parent. Like, that's all you need. That is it. If you chose to be a parent, your baby goes with you, or you stay home with your baby if you do not have a sitter. That is it. You don't just leave your baby 6 blocks down the fucking road. Well, it feels like 3. No, if it's 6 blocks, it's 6 fucking blocks. You do not leave your 6-month-old baby at home 6 blocks away and go to a party. What party is more important than your baby? Because for me, it is none. Like, I chose to bring that child into the world. That child is mine to care for. And I would never risk something like this happening to my children. Ever, 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 ever.
she said her spouse was coming home in a couple hours.
Why would you
to-
just fucking wait?
Why?
Wait till your spouse is home and then go. Like, why can't you wait?
I can't. You don't like if you're at home and you need to work outside or do whatever, you go as far as the monitor will reach.
Right.
When you lose service, that's your barrier. You
And
don't go farther.
They have a network camera, so they've got it like feeding through Wi-Fi, and that's the.
There you go. This has given you a false sense of, like, I don't even know what the word is, but a false sense of trust. That camera is not a parent. You are the parent. Don't rely on a camera only to give you, like, don't rely on the camera to give you, what's the word I'm looking for?
A false sense of security.
There you go. Yes, thank you. That's why
I mean, there's so
Thank you.
there's so many things like the risk. She cannot deny that the risk increases with her distance. I understand she's trying to, which each one of these, and with the fire thing, she's like, I'm gonna trust the odds on this one. Oh, okay, you're trusting the odds.
Yeah.
You're gambling with your child's fucking life, and the fact that that's even a discussion is not okay. Like you can't do that.
Right.
I love how you try to make the case for yourself by being like, we don't use electronics to babysit our children, so we can do stuff around them, but not with them. It doesn't matter.
You're using an electronic to babysit your child because you're watching it from 6 blocks away. Has cameras that connect to your phone. We had one when Navy was younger. It was the Owlet cam. We could see it on our phone. Has that given parents like this false sense of security that they can walk further away from a child? I don't think it has. Like our monitor reaches basically to the back door. So it's like, that's it. If we need to like walk outside and look at something like right in our backyard,
Yeah.
which is what, 20 feet from Navy's room, like that's about as far as we
You set it on the brick windowsill outside, and then you can walk to where you can still hear it. You just crank the volume up, right? But yeah, Crash Cart Ronnie, it's like you feel guilty even going outside, right?
Right.
So
when they're, especially when they're, I mean, Navy doesn't nap anymore, so I don't know. Her doubling down and being like, yeah, that's just a boogeyman thing. Anything could happen at any time. Sure, it can, but you you left your child alone and hoped that something didn't happen instead of being a parent and being there, being present and making sure something didn't happen. I would rather you use electronics 24/7 than pull this bullshit with your baby.
right.
You
The
have
fact
chosen
that
more evil, in my opinion, in this.
The fact that it wasn't even like, it's not for an emergency, it's not for work, it's not for like something that's mandatory, it was for a fucking party,
Mhm.
makes it so much worse.
Yeah.
The party is more important to you than your child.
You and her doubling down to me says that you have no problem doing this again, because you're like, well, it worked out for me the first time, so yeah, this time I'll go 8 blocks. This time there were people in comments saying that when they were younger, like under 1, their mom would take their dad to work, which ended up being an hour round trip while they were sleeping, an under 1-year-old. And I'm like, don't leave your baby alone.
Right.
Like, it is not complicated. Don't leave the baby alone, ever. Like, I don't think there's ever any reason that you should leave your child alone.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's some dad talk in here too, but he agreed with her. At least according to OP, they were on the same page about it. He may not be.
Right.
He may not do that.
She could have brought the, I mean, if it wasn't like a, I don't know,
You know what?
brought the baby in a carrier, like something.
I bet she feels like ASCON 3, but it's really a 1.
I feel like she thinks she's NTA.
No, I know. I was making
No.
them. Just connecting the dots with the whole. Feels like 3 blocks. It's actually 6.
I was too short.
Too short for that one.
Yeah.
Too short for that one. Yeah. That's it. Just
Yeah. I know that you don't like stories about kids.
I don't.
But the top comment on this, to lay it out, I felt was something that maybe that we should have on our channel, like giving that information to the world.
Yeah.
So if somebody is entertaining this idea, don't fucking do it. Just don't do it.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
It's not safe. Sorry, I've got to turn that AC off. The noise coming through, especially being further from the mic, is going to be unbearable. Can't do it. Can't do it. All righty.
Somebody said we have different ideas of spicy. We use spicy to stay That's
Oh.
we don't use it like that. We
That is-
say it
Yes.
like
Spicy is
more
like
intense stories.
spicy is dramatic.
Yes,
It's not. Yeah.
more intense stories that
Not
are
like spicy novel.
that
Not
are
like
probably
that kind
going
of
to
thing.
trigger you. Yes,
Not like that kind of thing. Boop.
yes. Brittany, the top comment was great.
Yeah, it was great.
All right.
Very, very good.
Bye, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Candy Thunder, and that will wrap our show for today. So we're going to take about 10 to 15 minutes and get ready for VIP. In the meantime, I know you guys hit the bolt goal here. And we got to give some thanks for that. Brittany in the number one spot. Laura Lee, Emil Dean Shepard, TLS, Journey, Gojo Lee, Adventures with Pam, Dr. Sweets, Elise Newman, CF Pelletier, author, Mia Shelton, Olivia and Sons, I Am Diva, Kiva, and I know we've also got a bunch of others here. Pearls Painting, Elise Newman, TLS, Misty Frick, Mallory Rocks, Emil Dean Shepard, Laura Lee, TLS, CF Pelletier, I hope I'm saying that somewhere close to right. Laura Lee, Brittany, TLS dropping bombs with the bolts here. Gojo Lee as well, Becky Dorn, Cassie Harrelson, Emma Bailey, Allison and Luna, Queen Greenwich, Miss Aline. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Swish, Dammy, Janice 2014, A. Haworth. Oh, I just went through the list. We need a night of cake stories. You like cake night? Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. I don't know if there are any more cake stories out there. We got to bake some new cake stories, Reddit. Come on, bake us some new cake stories, Reddit. There were some questions earlier on about where you should submit a story. You can submit a story directly to us at dusty-thunder.com. There's a form to do that. However, the recommended route is to post it on the Dusty Thunder subreddit, r/Dusty Thunder. It gets the community there engaged. They are great at giving quick feedback. That way, in case the story doesn't get picked up or we have a chance to review it to include it with the show or something, it's the best way to go, period. I definitely recommend that. Hannah Louise, welcome to the Gosh Heckin' fam. A. Haworth, Crystal Williams, Minions Den, Donna DJ, Chris 9799, Swish Damage, Janice, Kat Renner Leadham, Jerry Legal Fourth, Gina. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Have a lovely 4th of July. Safe 4th of July. Happy, good family time. If you're lighting fireworks yourself, make sure you're doing it safely. I'm not as fast as I used to be, so I think I'll let the teens handle that gig. I'm not that quick anymore. The best of cake stories. Hey, that'd be good. That would be good. We need to put that together. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys. Have a fantastic week. We'll see you again on Sunday. Sunday night, we are doing the multi-stream at 9 p.m. Central Time, and then we'll be back next Wednesday, of course, again. So, VIP coming up here shortly. Thanks so much. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.